So I'm Kathy Cerruti. I'm the 8th grade research teacher and the school librarian at Cohasset Middle High School. And today we have our Cohasset Cares Sustainability Symposium, which is the culminating event of about a month-long research project that my students do as part of their class. And also it's part of the state's requirement for an action-based 8th grade civics project.
I'm Catherine, and our topic is substance abuse. And one interesting fact I learned is that 44% of teens use substances to cope with stress.
I'm Maya, and one interesting thing that I learned was that unemployed people have a higher rate of being addicted to substances.
I'm Finn Axon, and one interesting thing I learned was that sports is a very good, healthy alternative to drugs, vaping, alcohol, any substances.
Hey guys, I'm Jack Ryan. So this project is why our community is changing to renewable energies and what should Cohasset do. One interesting thing that I found out about this is while researching, I came across biomass energy, and I found out that it's a renewable energy, but it's not necessarily good for the environment because it still produces carbon dioxide through burning it, with ethanol. So it's not necessarily better for the environment as most people think.
Hello, my name is Declan Baker, and the most interesting thing I think I learned was that renewable energy is not something in the future, it's happening right now.
Hi, I'm Emma. Our project is on water pollution, and one interesting thing I learned about was all of the different types of pollution and how they affect the world.
Hi, I'm Peyton, and one interesting thing I learned is that the Yangtze River pollutes 1 million gallons of oil into the ocean.
My name is Hank Higgins. I did my project on ocean rising and ocean pollution. And one interesting thing was I found out how much water the two poles are melting off each year, and it's in the hundreds of millions of tons.
My name is Edward, and one interesting thing I learned in my research was windmills is one of the best renewable energy sources.
My name is Tyler Baker, and our project is about wildlife conservation. One interesting fact I learned is the average annual population decrease is 73% in the last 50 years.
I'm Lily Matthew, and the most significant thing that I thought was interesting was probably that one animal could really change a whole food pyramid, and just by dying.
My name is Marin Elder, and one interesting thing I learned is that 23% of animals worldwide are threatened with extinction.
Hi, I'm Luisa Viteri, and our topic is teen stress. And one interesting fact I learned was that 3/4 of Cohasset Middle School thinks that school causes the most stress.
My name is Stella, and my interesting fact is that 38 to 54% of female teens experience some type of stress disorder, and 26 to 43% of male teens experience some type of stress disorder.
Hello, I'm Karen Laird, and our research project is on alternative transportation. One interesting fact I learned about my research was the mode of transportation with the lowest carbon footprint is an international train.
Hi, I'm Sydney, and one interesting thing I learned about our project was that there are 7 main greenhouse gases.
Hi, I'm Colin, and the most interesting thing I learned is probably all different types of fuels there are.
Hi, I'm Maggie. Our topic was water pollution, and one thing I learned is that stormwater runoff can carry toxins like oils and fertilizers into the ocean.
Hi, my name is Brie Cody. One thing I learned was that around 33 billion pounds of plastic enter the ocean every year.
Hi, I'm Parker Appel, and I learned that the Seabin machine can remove around 1.5 tons of marine debris per year.
I'm Tessa White. Our project was based on food waste. And one interesting fact that I learned is that 94% of food waste ends in landfill.
Hey, I'm Alex Hitchpudi, and an interesting fact that I learned is that you can make methane from food waste.
Hello, I'm Henry Wallet, and I learned that the government can contribute to food waste in more ways than we know.
And if you've liked what you've seen today on tape, you can actually catch it again in June and come out at that time to see it live and in person.